All right, so we're going to talk now about formatting cells. So this is going to, again, kind of allow you to change the look and feel of your spreadsheet. So again, it doesn't always have to be like what you're looking at on the screen right now. So again, please remember to click the button to grab the practice spreadsheet. That should look like what I have in front of me. And we're going to work on kind of customizing and changing things together. So we're going to start with just changing font size. And we're going to go ahead and grab the row here that has all of our headers. And this is one of the first things that I like to do, is to change the font size on the column headers so that I can read them nice and neat. We always default to Arial. You can always make these fun. Don't know how you feel about fun fonts. Let's go with audio wide so you can see it nice and big. That is a size 10 font. So let's just change it, go up to 12. And what you notice right away is that we cannot see all of the content. So we could try here to do a text wrap and see what happens. That looks okay. But we still see that over here, organization and convention isn't working. Let's see if we can. Nope, I don't like that. So I was just trying to double click to auto size the column, but I can't read organization still correctly. So I'm just going to drag and drop until I get it to fall where I want it. That looks good. However, now I'm noticing, and you don't have to go with the font that I chose here, audio wide. Pick whatever font you want, but don't fall down the font rabbit hole. Just pick one really quickly and kind of move on. You can add a different font later if you want to. So what I'm noticing is I have a light gray happening on some of these, and on some of them I don't. So I'm going to highlight the row, and I'm going to go ahead and choose one gray for them all. Okay. Did anyone notice that kind of nerdy comment there? I'm sorry. I'm in a weird mood today. I'm just recording a bunch of videos. So, okay. The other thing that we're noticing is under teacher comments, we have a few teacher comments happening, and you can't really read them because they're doing a text overflow. So I'm going to make this column just a little bit wider, and it's highlighted already, and I'm going to once again do the text wrapping so that I can see it. Wow. Okay, I'm going to make this a little bit larger. So what you're looking at here, by the way, in case you're wondering, is an exercise in calibration of scoring writing assignments. So you've got several different teachers' comments over here, grading specific student papers, and then leaving comments. So, okay. So let's continue here with our formatting of cells. So there's a couple of things we've already done, which is good. Let's go ahead and see about changing some of the colors of the text. So like, let's say we go up here and instead of choosing gray, let's say we do like this dark gray. And now it's kind of hard to read the text here. So let's change the text. Instead of black, let's go with a white color and see how that looks. Looks okay. So just like in any of your other documents, you can quickly change the color of your text at any time. Okay. You also can change so that you get bold text. So let's say I want, maybe not this teacher's name, but maybe I want the students' names in bold. So just highlighting that and then hitting the bold button, and that's going to give me a bold text. Not that kind of different or unusual. Let's go ahead and say these are all green. They don't really need to be green. Let's reset that color so that it's not bolded in your face. Formatting the alignment of the text. So maybe these period things here, period block, whatever. Instead of having them vertically aligned at, let's make them center. Let's center them. Sure, that looks okay. And then maybe let's look at these columns, and let's go ahead and instead of centering them, let's move to the one right next to it. And we're going to, this is like the horizontal alignment. So you can move them to the top. You can, so before they were on the bottom, if you notice, like for this particular row 3 here. So this has a lot of teacher comments. So you can make the decision, depending on how your brain likes to read this, it's going to automatically default to vertical alignment to the bottom, but you can change that by going up to this button here, and instead of bottom, you could go center, or you could go to the top. So think about which way your brain likes that. Just know that it automatically defaults to the bottom, but you can change that alignment at any time. Then let's talk briefly about your text. I don't know if any of this is going to work. I'm going to highlight instead of the entire column because I don't want to mess up. In fact, I could maybe freeze this top row because I like the way that works and looks. Freezing that, and then I'm going to highlight maybe the teachers' names and just play around with the formatting of tilting the names to the side. I don't really think you need that necessarily here, but just wanted to show you that you can change it. I'm just laughing because it's not something, oh, that's a nice feature. It's not something I need right now in this capacity, but I wanted to make sure you knew that it was there. Let's go back to normal. There we go. Fixed. Okay. What else can we do here? Let's also talk about borders. So let's maybe change, right here where we have like the teachers' names. Oops, I meant to grab all of this. So I'm going to highlight all of the teachers' names, or maybe I can just highlight the whole cell, row here, or column, sorry. What we're going to do is we're going to mess with the borders here. So what I'd like to do, I think, is to put a line that separates the teacher column, this guy here. So I want a line there, and then I can change the color if I wanted to, and I can increase the thickness. So the other thing too, you can think about, like, you could freeze that column. View, freeze column 1. So you can always see the teacher's name as you move and go to the comments. You can change that. And then you also have your definitive line off to the side. So just knowing that you have the option to change those borders at any time. And then I also wanted to say that you can do something called conditional formatting. And in this instance, I think this is really helpful if you're using this as like a gradebook feature. If you want to identify, that you've got lower numbers than other areas, to kind of just zero in on them. So for each column here, what I'm going to do, so these are 3 different writing categories that we were scoring in. This was a couple of years ago. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the drop down menu for this column, and I can actually do all of the columns at once in this instance. And I'm going to go all the way down towards the bottom here to where it says conditional formatting, and it's going to open up a window off to the side. And what I want to do here is I want to format so that if the text is less than, I'm thinking I want to identify people that are not proficient. Right? So if the text is less than a 4, then I would like for that to be yellow. Right? And then maybe I want to add another rule, and I want it to say if the text is less than 3, I want it to be red. Did it work? No, I need to go back up here. So let's say if the text, okay, so if the text is exactly 3, we want it to be yellow. And then, so I'm done. And then this one, then it would work, less than 3 is going to be red. So my 2s are standing out as red, and then my 3s are all yellow. So that's conditional formatting. So you can change that and use that a lot. I do that a lot when I use Google Form Sheets responses. That's the first time I looked at conditionally formatting just to call attention to specific things. So you just change the rules or change how you set it up, and just I would play with it a little bit, but it's going to make your life a little bit easier as you kind of use these for different pieces or things. So for instance, if you were asking students on an exit ticket for a specific answer, you could have that highlighted in conditionally formatting so that you could automatically see which ones got it right and which ones got it wrong. Or if you were asking kids who needs help, with their science lab today, and they click, a yes or a no button, you could have it conditionally format to highlight any of those that say they need help on their lab, and then right away you could zero in on who those kids are. I think for those of us at the secondary level, when we have large class sizes or we're taking data points like this from large classes, if your spreadsheet starts to get overwhelming, I think kind of zeroing it and using those color features can really make your life easier. Okay, we're going to stop there.